everybody, welcome to another edition of DSC Healthy Living. Appreciate you tuning in again, and I'm going to do something a little bit different. And before I start, let me just mention we do live in our house, and you may see a mess if Caitlin spans over, so sorry. But we also have animals in the house, so if you hear a mad cat screaming in the background, he's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay? He just wants attention. He hears us in the kitchen, so he wants to come out and say hey. But anyway, we're not doing that. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is waffling. If you are on my program, you are familiar with waffling probably. If you are new to my program, I try to keep everything simple the first couple weeks, so I don't talk about waffling when I first start you on our program because I want it to be simple. So what we do though, we waffle things to make them more portable or just to switch up the textures. And it's always good to have you can waffle things like the pancake ahead of time. So if you do that, then you can just pop it in the toaster and the next morning. So it makes it more convenient, easy, simple. Again, we want to make everything convenient and simple. That's the whole point of this. So you'll stick with it. So I should have went ahead and plugged this up. Let me go ahead and start this so we'll get it plugged up. And I have been waffling for about 2 years now, since when I started program. But my little Dash waffler finally died, and I had to get a new one. So you may see like some stuff that don't go smooth because I haven't waffled with this one yet. So we're gonna learn together. But I got this one at Walmart, and they have different ones. They actually had some left over from Christmas. So they had like Santa Claus ones. They had some left over from Thanksgiving. They had little turkeys and pumpkins. And but in this series of little appliances, they also have like little muffin that you can make little, they're like like a bundt cake. There's so many different types of these that you can get, and there's some that's just a griddle, whereas this is a waffler and has the indentions. And if you had rather have a little griddle, you know, they're all similar, just whatever shape, size, or whatever you want to make. So what we're going to do though is I've got 3 of our fillings out that I'm going to waffle. The first one I'm going to do is our cheddar herb biscuit, and with it, I love using it for bread. I mean, that's what it is a biscuit. So you are going to, on the package directions, we have, on the back of the package, it tells you exactly how to do this. 3 tablespoons of cold water, and you just stir it in the provided tray. A lot of our fillings come with these little trays. I don't like these as far as like baking them in it. You can put this in the microwave, but I prefer getting like I'm just going to open up my messy cabinet, y'all. And show you, I won't show you my messy cabinet, but I want to show you what a ramekin dish looks like. This is the ramekin dishes. I actually got these at Aldi. They had them on, like, you got 2 of these for, I don't know, $4, I don't know. So, this is what I like to do fillings in the microwave. But I do use these like to mix things up before I waffle, so they're really great to use. But that's what it means when it tells you on the package, you know, to use the paper tray provided. So it's very simple directions, and it also tells you if you'd rather bake them, how to bake them in the oven. So Caitlin's gonna sneeze, y'all. Just go ahead, Caitlin, sneeze. It's okay. It's live TV. You can do it. That should cough. Okay.
Okay.
She don't have COVID, y'all. It's just a cough, and you won't catch it through here anyway. Anyway. All right. So it tells you on there exactly how to do it. So if you want to microwave it, if you want to bake it in the oven, or if you want to waffle, I'm going to tell you exactly how I do it just to make it simple. We have a detailed waffling chart that you can go by. So if you're on my plan, you know what I'm talking about. Or just simple for me, so I don't have to remember all of that. I use 2 tablespoons of liquid egg whites. And I get these at Aldi. They're cheaper there, just FYI. And they have the egg beaters too there in the carton. And then I use 2 tablespoons of cold water, which I already have in my little pretty cup here. So 2 tablespoons of egg whites, liquid egg whites, and 2 tablespoons of cold water. And that's how I do all of my waffling. Simple. And some things though, like if you're, just for instance, if you're doing something sweet, like we're going to do the chocolate chip cookie, if you don't want 2 tablespoons of egg whites, you can do 3 tablespoons of water and 1 of the liquid egg whites. So, you know, you might taste the egg in the sweeter items. So you can do it, you know, you can play around with this. It's not a exact science. This is just a guide for you so you know what we do. All right, so I've talked long enough and this is already heated up and the lights went off. I should have showed you. There's a little light here, so when you first plug it in, it lights up. So once it kicks off, then you know it's ready to go. Did you get that, Caitlin? Can you see it?
I did. Sorry to the folks. I got my finger in the video. I'm so sorry, guys.
It's okay. All right, so what we're gonna do, I already have the batter out of the packet. I put it in the bowl. So I'm going to use my little water here and do 2 tablespoons of water and 2 tablespoons of liquid egg whites. And I'll shake it up just so you know, in case it's settled in the bottom. And this cheddar herb biscuit actually has like some rosemary in it as well, and thyme, and you can actually, there's not much in it really, but if you wanted, if you had like a really fine sieve and you wanted to, you know, sift that out, if you don't want the rosemary in it, you can do that too. But so I'm gonna mix this up. I'll show you the consistency of it once I get it stirred. And I probably should have used a spatula. Look, I just grabbed one. Oh, right here, spatula. It's nice to have everything handy. All right, so the reason I like using a spatula is so we can rake it all out of the sides. You don't want to waste any of it. You want to get as much out as you can, right? Mm-hmm. We don't want to be wasteful. Mm-hmm. All right. So this particular, doing it this way, so you got 2 waters, 2 egg whites, it makes it really kind of liquidy. So what this is going to do is give me 2 waffles. So do not try to pour all of this batter into your little waffler at one time. If you wanted to, now if you got a regular size waffler, you don't even have to buy a little one. Use your regular waffle. Use what you got. And so if you've got the big waffle iron, you could even, if you wanted to do 2 of these at a time, you'll just have to know that that's 2 fuelings and to divide it by 2. It'll make a bigger waffle. You know, you can do it however you want to. So we're gonna raise this up, and you have to use your cooking spray. I prefer the olive oil cooking spray. And just make sure you put some on the top and the bottom. And I'm just gonna kind of eyeball this and pour in, sorry, I'm trying to get where y'all can see. Pour in half of this into my little waffler here. And you don't want to overflow it. If you do, I want to tell you a little trick to that. I might just put a little bit extra in there just so we can overflow it, so I can show you. See, you can make a mess, it's all fun. But you just kind of, if you want to fill in all of those. So I actually overflowed this a little bit. So it's not pouring out the sides yet, but if I close this down, it will overflow. So what you want to do is just let it cook for a little bit. And you'll see it start, there's one bubble coming up, there's another bubble coming up. So we want to let it actually cook a little bit more before we close the lid, because then it'll spill out over the sides. Do you want me to do that so you'll see what happens? And I might still do it if I don't let it cook long enough. But it kind of reminds me like when you're doing a pancake on the skillet. You know, when your pancake's getting ready to flip, it's got all those holes in it. So this is kind of what that looks like. And this actually cooks, those of you that have these, if you've got the actual dash waffle, this one cooks a little slower. So if you get the one at Walmart, just heads up on that. So it does take a little longer. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this so you can actually see. And if it does start oozing out, I'll stop it or I'll lift the lid up. But I think I let it cook long enough so it won't do that. So we're gonna let this cook until it's done. Now what I like to do is let it cook a little. I don't let it cook all the way, and I held this up so now the lights kick back on. So that means it's cooking. So once it actually kicks off, that means it's done. So we'll let it run its cycle, and then we will do this other one. And we'll talk about what we can do with that after I get all these waffled, so you can see the different ways you can use these. I even, one time, like for Thanksgiving, I think it was Thanksgiving, I did little muffins in the muffin tin. I just used these and made our bread for Thanksgiving. So, you know, you can do that. You can see how it's rising up a little bit now. But yeah, it's not spoiled. pour it out. Oh, let me talk about my little apron here too. Caitlin said I look like a bagpipe player, but this was actually my grandma Hamby's. So I use this in the kitchen. She made it herself. You see my pretty tennis shoes too. Okay, that's all right. But I always use an apron. I try to. And it's funny. I'm gonna tell on my husband. He actually uses this for a bib when he's eating something messy, so he'll put it up over it.
Especially mustard.
Yes, I don't know why, but it's mustard. He can eat anything in the world, but if he's got mustard on it, he will drop mustard on his shirt. Just, I don't know. But anyway, all right. So this is kicked off. So I'm gonna try this, and I keep a little wooden skewer here, or a little what do you call it? Chopstick. So I use that to lift it up off the waffler here, and so there you go. Voila. Pretty little waffle. And I didn't get anything to put it on. Oh, got me a plate. Let's do a plate. All right. So now I'm going to spray this again. And I'm going to pour the rest of this in there. And it might make, like I said, I filled that one up a little bit. We'll see how much this makes. And that's why I like using these silicone spatulas, so you can actually get in there and scrape everything off the sides. I'm going to go ahead and fill this up as much as possible. I'll have to turn it so I can scrape it, y'all. I can't see. I'm not that good. Okay. So, yeah, we didn't get quite enough in there, but like I said, I put a little bit extra in that other one, but you can still smear it out a little bit, so you might have a little couple holes in there, but it will not hurt it. It tastes the same. So we'll cover that up and let it cook. And what else was I going to tell you? Let's see. Oh, if you want to, another thing a lot of people like to do with these is we like utilizing the Laughing Cow cheese wedges. Like you can take one of those and actually just cut it in half and smear it on one of these and use that for your cheese instead of a slice of cheese, and it saves you some calories and fat, and so that's a good thing to do. And that's what I'll show you after I get all this waffle too. We can make a sandwich out of these. So I'll get a couple slices of and get reduced sodium or low sodium deli meat. And deli meat, a lot of people think, okay, it's not that, as far as calories, it's not that bad, you know, but when you eat a lot of that, there's a lot of sodium. Even the low sodium is like 400 and something grams, and that is why with 3 slices. So, and you know, it's usually got some of that juice in the bottom, so make sure you get it out of that. I even rinse it sometimes if I need to, and then pat it dry with a paper towel. But yeah, so some people do that, and they'll put some lettuce and put some of that deli meat on there. Or if you've got some leftover meat from the night before, you know, got some ground chicken or chicken breast, cook some chicken breast, or you had some pork chop, whatever, you got some kind of lean meat left over, you can put some of that, like get you about 2 or 3 ounces and put that on here, make you a little sandwich out of it. So very, very versatile. And it kicked off. Okay, no it didn't. So I thought it did. I don't think it started cooking. See, I told you I hadn't learned this one either, so we're gonna learn together. Oh, and did y'all see, I posted this on my page one day too, the strips, the magnetic strips for your knives. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I did not do this sooner. It is just awesome. And they're, you know, they peel and stick. You can actually put them on the refrigerator, but I prefer to put them on the wall. Let's just see here. Yeah, it's done. It might not be done enough. Let's just put that back down in there. I'm gonna let it cook just a little bit more. That'll light kicked on. So yeah, these are really cute too to let kids, I mean, of course you need to watch them if you're letting your little ones use these, but they like to help in the kitchen too. And the sooner you can get them in the kitchen and doing things like this, they feel like they're helping, and you know, then eventually they can make their own things. But anything little and petite like this, they love you know, they love cooking with it because they think it's made just for them because it's smaller. So like I said, look at these. They even have like ice cream makers in those dash waffle. I mean, they've got all kind of things on those, and it's DASH, just dash. If you put it on Amazon, it'll pull up a plethora of different things. So, all right, so this is done now, and we're gonna leave this on the plate. And I'm going to take a quick little remission here and tell Caitlin to turn this off, and we're going to, I'm gonna wash my little tablespoon out and prepare for the next bowl. And we'll be back in a minute. And we're back, y'all. we decided, because I had already talked for almost 15 minutes, that I would just go ahead and waffle these other two things. So we just show it to you afterwards. One thing I will mention, those of you that are on program, if you have had the traditional dash waffle versus the one that I just got at Walmart, this one does take longer to cook and it's bigger. So like with the pan down here, Kaylin, with when I did the cheddar herb biscuit, I made, these are thinner, so I made the two, and here's the, I'll show you. I smeared the Laughing Cow cheese wedge, and I used the garlic and herb. And so we also keep usually the original and then the pepper jack. And you can get all of these at Aldi. I want to go back down here, Kayla. So just if you're on program, make sure, like if you're going to use these, you have to make sure they're the 30 calories, and it'll tell you on like the 1.5 grams of fat. The original one here, it's 50 calories and it's 4 grams. So this one wedge of this is going to be your healthy fat, whereas this is 1 wedge is a condiment, 2 is a healthy fat. So you have to watch that. But any of those, that's why I wanted to see that. Okay. So I made this little sandwich here, put some lettuce on here and some of the low sodium turkey meat. And if you are on program again, what you're going to do is make sure you are deducting that from your supper. So that's a good way to split your meal, so you can have like a portion of your protein and one of your veggies at lunchtime, and then at supper time you would finish your protein and eat the other 2 veggies. So it's a good way to break it up. And so we made the potato as well. So this is, and I just, like I'm saying, it just made 1. So just note that for all of you playing peeps that have the dash. This is your potato, and this is your chocolate chip cookie. Ooey gooey chocolate chip cookie. Yep. And I think that's it. Was that all we was going to say?
I think so.
Okay. Just if you don't mind, and if you have not liked the channel, and if you want to leave a comment, that would be great. And subscribe if you haven't done that. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. And also, if you are not on my program and you want to know more about that, and we have a private Facebook group that I can invite you to. So if you'd like me to do that, just reach out. Like I said, either comment or my Facebook link's on there. You can go through Facebook and message me, and I'll be glad to send you a little form, and we can get you on that Facebook group so you can find more of these, like all of our recipes and tips and tidbits of how to get healthy. Y'all have a good one, and we will be back next week.
Bye-bye.